Let's learn how to write cursive A. For uppercase A, you're going to start near the top line. You're going to go up and touch the top line, curve around and touch that green carpet, that bottom line. Go back up and connect where you left off at the beginning, and then curve out. Let's see that again. So start near the top, touch the top line, curve around, touch the bottom line, go back up, and curve out. You give it a little tail. Curve around, up, down, and out. Curve around, up, down, and out. Upstairs and downstairs. You want to fill both those lines. You want to make sure you're touching the ceiling or the top line. Down, touch the green carpet or the bottom line. And then come out like this. Curve around, up, down, and then out. Now, the reason that we give big uppercase A tail is because it's now ready to receive another letter. For example, I could make a cursive A, and then there's that tail, and I could just continue on with the next letter in the word, like letter P, if I were going to write the word apple. Practice uppercase letter A. Now let's learn how to write lowercase cursive A. We're going to start near this dotted line in the middle. Our lowercase letters go downstairs, so start near that dotted line, go up and touch the dotted line, curve around to the green carpet, go back up and connect, and then make that little tail. So you're going to curve around, up, down, and out. Curve around, up, down, and out. Connect and out. See if you can write a lowercase letter A. We want to touch the dotted line, the bottom line, and then make that little tail so that our letter is ready to receive another letter beside it. For example, I can put lowercase letter A beside a letter P if I want to write the word apple. And that tail helps me to be able to connect that P with the A. Practice writing lowercase letter A. Let's learn how to write cursive letter B. We're going to start at the top line, the ceiling line, go straight down like number 1. We're going to pick our pencils up. We're going to go back up to the top. We're going to make 1 bubble, 2 bubbles, and then we're going to just loop around like that. Let's do that again. So make a line that goes straight down like number 1, go to the top, blow 1 bubble, 2 bubbles, and then you're just going to make a little kind of loop that kind of touches that back line and then comes out. So down, curve, curve, touch the back, and then just get ready to have a little loop that's going to come out and connect to the next letter when you're ready. Okay, good job. So straight down like number 1. 1 bubble, 2 bubbles. Touch that back line and kind of bounce back out. Just a little bit. Down, curve, curve, and then out. Down, bubble, bubble, touch, and then out. So let's take a look at what that would look like if we connect another letter to it. We're going to curve upstairs, curve downstairs, touch that back line. Remember how we made that little, almost like a little tail that kind of juts out? Now it's going to continue on over to begin that next letter. For example, we can put an A right here beside B. Practice writing uppercase letter B. Let's write lowercase letter b. We're going to start at the green carpet line. We're going to go up to the top. We're going to make a loop back behind that first line. Curve around, come back to the line we were just working on, and then make a little loop that comes out. Let's see that one again, okay? So just loop up, back and around, touch and out. Again, up, loop back, curve around, touch, and then out. We're making those tails because remember, we're getting ready to put another letter beside this B. So we want to make sure that there's a little tail to be able to join the next letter to. All right, so here we go again. Up, loop back, curve, and out. Make sure you're touching the top line and the bottom line, and then your little loop is going to, or your little tail, I guess, is going to come to the dotted line and touch it. To the dotted line. There we go, good, and then up, around, touch, and out. Now let's take a look at what this looks like when we join another letter to it. So we're going to make our lowercase cursive b. Then we're going to make that little tail that comes out, and then we're just going to be ready to connect that with the next letter that we want to add beside B. Practice writing lowercase letter b. Let's write uppercase letter C. We're going to start near the top. We're going to come up and touch the top line. We're going to curve around, touch the bottom line, and then make that little tail that just comes out. Curve around and out. Curve around and out, just like this. Curve around and out. You don't have to go up and touch the dotted line that's in the middle, because remember, the point of that little tail that we're going to make right here at the end is that it's ready to connect to another letter, and that letter might not need us to go all the way to the top. It just depends on what the letter that's coming next is. So we just kind of make that tail come out midway downstairs. Touch the top line, touch the bottom line, and then just make that little tail. Let's take a look at what that would look like if we joined another letter to it. Here's cursive A, or excuse me, cursive C, and now we're going to connect it to cursive A. And that's what it would look like right there. Let's practice lowercase cursive C. We're going to start here near the dotted line in the middle. Our lowercase c will be downstairs. So we're going to go up and touch the dotted line, curve around and touch the bottom line, and then make that little tail that comes out. So curve around and out. It's just like uppercase C, but smaller. We're going to keep our lowercase c downstairs. So go up and touch the top line, bottom line, and out. Curve around and out. Curve around and out. If we want to connect lowercase c with another letter, it would look like this. We've got that tail that comes out, so we just keep going and add that next letter. Let's practice writing the uppercase letter D. You need to start at the top line, go straight down and touch the bottom line, loop, touch the bottom line, go up, and then make a little curl. So top line, little loop, make a big bubble, go back up where you started, and then you're just making like this, a little curl. Down, little loop, curve around, and a curl. Little loop, big bubble, curl. Down, little loop, big bubble, curl. Down, little loop, big bubble, curl. This is uppercase letter D. If you were going to join another letter beside this one, you wouldn't actually join them. You would put your uppercase D like this. You wouldn't try to force that curl down. You would just let that letter stand alone, and you would put the next letter beside it. For lowercase d, we're going to start much like we did for lowercase c. Near the dotted line in the middle, we're going to curve around. We're going to connect just like with A, but then we're going to keep on going up. Then we're going to come straight down and give it a tail. So it looks like a C, but then we just go up all the way to the top line, down with a tail. Curve around, up, down with a tail. Up and down with a tail like that. It looks like we're going to make a C, but we go up, down, tail. Downstairs, upstairs, and then back down. This is what we call a teenager letter. Usually our little letters stay downstairs, but this one's a teenager. He can go upstairs, and sometimes teenager letters even go in the basement. Let's see what it looks like when we join a cursive lowercase d with the letter A. You can practice your lowercase letter D. To make an uppercase letter E, you're just going to curve, curve, and out. It looks like a backwards number 3. Just curve upstairs, downstairs, and make that little tail come out. Curve, curve, and out. Curve, curve, and out. Curve upstairs, downstairs, and then make the tail that comes out. Like a backwards number 3. To connect uppercase E to another letter, it would look like this. To write lowercase e, we're going to be downstairs on the handwriting house paper. We're going to touch that green carpet line. We're going to loop up to the middle line, back, and out. So it's really just like a slanted loop. Bottom line, dotted line, loop back and out. Loop, make that tail. Touch the dotted line, touch the bottom line, and come out. Loop back and out. All right, let's take a look at what that would look like if we put it together with another letter. Here's lowercase e. Right beside it, we'll put a lowercase a. To make an uppercase F, we're going to make a little loop right here. And then we're just going to come down and then go back up and touch that top line. We're going to make a line that comes straight down, back with that little tail, and then we're going to put a line in the middle. So let me show you that again. It's like this little loop, and then it comes like down and up like a wave, and then straight down, kind of like a fish hook, and a line in the middle. So a little loop that lets you get ready to kind of make that little wave straight down and a line in the middle after you do that fish hook. So a little curl, I guess we could call it a curl. Down, tail, and straight in the middle. And this one might take just a little bit more practice than some of the ones that we've worked on so far, but you can do it. Just make that little wave straight down, fish hook, and a line in the middle. Now, if you want to connect this with another letter, you would just make your uppercase letter F. And you see how we had that little fish hook right there? We're just going to keep on going out to the next letter. And then we would come back and just do that line in the middle. For lowercase f, we're going to start here on that green carpet line, downstairs. We're going to go up and loop back, just like we did for B, but we're going to go straight down into the basement. And then we're going to make a front loop, come back to that green carpet line, and then make that tail that comes out. Let's see that again. All right, we're going to make that backwards loop, straight down, front loop, and then out. Up, loop back, down, front loop, and out. Straight down into the basement, touch that basement line, and then make that tail. Let's watch a couple more of those. Touch that green carpet line, and then make the tail. If I want to join that to another letter, I would just do this. Make the lowercase cursive f, and then there's the tail, and then I would just continue on with the next letter. For uppercase cursive G, We're going to start on this green carpet line. We're going to go up and make a little loop. Then we're going to go back up to that top line. We're going to just curve down and touch the bottom line and then just make that little tail that comes out. So up, little loop, touch, curve around, swing out. Up, little loop, touch, curve around, swing out. Upstairs, downstairs, and out. Little loop, touch, curve and swing out. Just watch a couple more. All right, up, little loop, touch, curve and swing out. Now, if you want to join this uppercase G to another letter, it would look like this. Make your uppercase G. When you swing out, just keep on going and add that next letter. Practice your uppercase cursive letter G's. To write lowercase g, you're going to start much like we did for uppercase A, right here near this middle dotted line. Go up and touch that line, curve around, go back and connect, and then go straight down into the basement, loop back, and give it a tail. So it really does look like you're going to make a letter A, but then you just keep going, make a loop, and a tail. So it looks like A, loop with a tail, and you're looping backwards to the left. Down, loop, and out. See that again. Down into the basement and loop out. Around, connect, loop, out. Let's see that lowercase g connected with another letter. Remember how we gave it that tail? We'll just keep coming around to add that next letter. Let's make uppercase letter H. Let's make a number 1. Let's go back up to the top and make another number 1. But then when we get to the bottom, we're going to bounce. And we're going to touch that first line and loop around like that. So go down, down. It looks like we're making a print letter H. But when we get here to the bottom, we're going to bounce. We're going to go boing, touch that line that we just had made, the first one, and then loop and out to make that tail. Down, down, bounce, loop, out. Down, down, bounce, loop, out. Let's watch again. Down, down, bounce, loop, out. Down, loop, and out. Make that tail so we'll be ready to put another letter with uppercase H. Straight down, bounce, loop, and out. Here's what that would look like if we joined another letter to it. Uppercase letter H. For lowercase cursive letter H, we're going to start here downstairs on the green carpet line. Go up and loop back, just like lowercase b. And then instead of making a B that curves around like this, we're going to go straight down. So make that backwards curve, but straight down instead of coming forward, and then hop over like that, and then make the tail. So we're making that backwards loop, down, hop over with a tail. So backwards loop, straight down, hop over with the tail. Okay, let's see that again. It's like that backwards loop, straight down, hop over, and then make that tail. Down, hop, tail. Backwards loop, down, hop, tail. To join that with another letter, you just make that lowercase cursive h, and then you just connect that tail to the next letter. For uppercase I, we're going to start right here downstairs. We're going to make a line that looks kind of like this, just a kind of a backwards hook. And then we're going to go up and down and out. So we're going to make kind of a backwards hook, up, loop, down, and out. Almost like a fishing hook. See that little hook-like symbol there? And then you're going to make a backwards loop, down, and make the tail that comes out. So hook, loop, out. Hook, loop, out. Downstairs, make the hook, and then loop up and out. Loop back, just like letter B or F. We're making that loop backwards toward the left. If we were going to join this to another letter, it would look like this. To make the lowercase cursive I, we're going to start on this green carpet line. We're just going to kind of curve up and touch the middle line. We're going to go straight down and make the tail, and we're going to put a dot upstairs in the middle of the upstairs line. So curve up, touch, down, tail, dot. Curve up, touch, down, tail, and dot. Touch the bottom line, middle line, bottom line, out. And there's the dot upstairs midway. Let's see some more of those. Just curve up to touch and back down and out. And make sure you don't forget your dot. All right, let's see what that might look like if we put another letter with it. Let's put a D with it. I, and there's D. And wait until you finish. Don't pick your pencil up until you're finished with all the letters, and then go back and put that dot at the end. Let's make the uppercase cursive letter J. We're going to start on this green carpet line. We're just going to curve back like this, touch the top line, and then we're just going to plummet straight down to the basement. And we're going to make a backwards loop and come out with a tail. Let's see that again. So we're just curving back, straight down into the basement, making a backwards loop and out. Down, loop, out. Curve, down, backwards loop, out. curve, down, backwards loop, out. Let's watch a few more of those. Curve, straight down, backwards loop, and out. By making that little tail that comes out, we're ready to put another letter beside that letter J. To make lowercase j, we're going to start here downstairs. We're going to start at the green carpet line. We're going to kind of curve up, just like when we did lowercase I. But when we get to that dotted line, we're going to plummet straight back down into the basement, make a backwards loop and a tail. And when we finish, we're going to come back and put a dot at the top. So curve up, straight down, loop back, and out. And don't forget your dot. Down, loop, out, dot. Touch, down, loop, out, dot. Touch the dotted line, touch the basement line, make a backwards loop, and then make a tail that goes out. Right, here's what that looks like if we add another letter. Let's add an E this time. There it is, lowercase letter J. To make a cursive uppercase K, we're going to start at the top line upstairs. We're going to come straight down. We're going to pick our pencils up, go back to the top line and move over. We're going to curve to the middle, and then we're going to curve back out. We're going to touch the green carpet line and then just make a tail. So just like the print letter K, until you get right here at the bottom and you're just going to curve out. So down to the middle and out like that. Straight down, go to the middle, back out, and curve. Down to the middle, out with a tail. This one looks very similar to the print uppercase letter K. Don't forget to put that tail there so we'll be ready to add another letter. And that would look like this. Uppercase K, make that tail, and then just join it to another letter. For lowercase a, we're going to begin much like we did for lowercase b and lowercase f. We're going to start on this green carpet line. We're going to go up to the top ceiling line, and then we're going to loop back straight down. And then we're going to do this. We're going to make, almost looks like a little bow, doesn't it? Loop back straight down. We're going to make almost like a little bow and then come out. Loop back straight down, come back in and out. Up, loop back straight down, making kind of that little bow shape, and then you're coming out. Let's just watch a few more of those. And out. When you make that little, what we're calling a bow, you're doing that midway downstairs. You see where I came around about midway downstairs, and then you're just kind of curving out. So backwards loop, down, bow, and kind of just curve out. middle downstairs, and there's that tail that's ready to add another letter beside it. So let's try letter E. Keep going around, and there you have it. For uppercase letter L, we're going to start right here upstairs near the top, but not at the top. We're going to just curve up to the top and make a loop. Straight down, another loop, touch that green carpet, and then out with the tail. See that again. So little loop down, little loop out. So you're really just making 2 loops. Loop, down, another loop, and out. All right, upstairs near the top, loop, down, another loop, and out. Loop, down, another loop, and out. Let's add another letter. So loop straight down. There's the tail, and we'll put another letter right beside the L. To make a lowercase cursive L, we're going to start here on this green carpet line. We're going to go up, touch the top line. We're going to make that backwards loop. We're just going to come out. So just up, backwards loop, and out. Backwards loop, just curve out. Really just looks like one loop and you're done. Just go up and make a loop. Up, loop, down, and curve out. All right, let's put this lowercase cursive L. How about we put it with a lowercase e? And there you have it. For cursive uppercase M, we're going to make almost like a candy cane shape, a backwards candy cane. We're going to just curve and then straight down, and then we're going to trace back up, and we're going to hop over 2 big times and then make the tail. So let's kind of make that backwards candy cane, straight down, over, 2 big hops, and then out. So candy cane, hop, big hop, all the way back up, and then down and curve out. Big hop, big hop. Make sure you're touching the top line and the bottom line, upstairs and downstairs. So backwards candy cane, down, over, and out. I think you can see what it's going to look like when we put another letter with it. We already have that tail, so it's very easy just to continue on. For lowercase m, we're going to start downstairs on that green carpet line. We're actually going to hop over 3 times, and then we're going to make the tail. So just hop, hop, hop with a tail. We're going to make sure that we're touching that dotted line. Remember, we want to fill this entire downstairs with our lowercase m. Hop, hop, hop with a tail. So 1, 2, 3 hops, and then curve around with that tail. 1, 2, 3, and out. Let's take a look at what this would look like if we added another letter beside it. We already have that tail, so we would just continue on with the next letter. For uppercase cursive N, we're going to begin much like we did with M. We're going to make that backwards candy cane. We're going to go down and then trace back up. We're going to only make one hop this time and curve around with the tail. So backwards candy cane, up, down, and curve around. One hop, one big hop. Touch the bottom line, top line, down, and out. Backwards candy cane, down, hop really big, and then curve out. Let's put uppercase letter N beside, let's try a letter E this time. And there you have it. For lowercase n, it's much like lowercase m, but we're just going to hop over 2 times and then make that tail. So hop, hop, tail. Hop, hop, and then out with the tail. 1, 2 hops and out. This is lowercase n. Over, over, and curve out. Let's put lowercase n with a lowercase I. And this is what it looks like. For uppercase letter O, we're just going to start there at the top and come around like a circle. And when we get to the top, when we connect, we're just going to make a loop that comes out. So really it's just making a circle and then a loop. A circle. When we connect, we just make that loop. There's the loop. So just go around, and then when you get to the top, loop. Circle, touching the top and bottom lines, and then making that loop when you go back to make that connection. Around, and then loop. Now, if you want to put another letter beside this one, it's going to look like this. You're just going to make that uppercase O, but you're not going to try to force that loop back down. You're just going to start with the next letter, whatever it might be. So we'll just put a letter L next door. They're not connected. For lowercase cursive O, we're just going to make a little circle downstairs, and when we connect, we're going to make a little loop. Looks just like the uppercase O, it's just we're making it smaller and downstairs. Loop. So around like a circle and a little loop that comes out. Connect, loop. Circle, connect, and loop. Circle, connect, and then make that little loop. If you want to put that next to another letter, it would look like this. Make your O, and then when we looped out, we would just continue with another letter. To make uppercase cursive P, we're going to start at the top line. We're going to go straight down to the bottom green carpet line, trace back up, and we're going to make a bubble just like that. When we get to that original line, we're going to just come out like that. So we're going to go down and just kind of loop out like that. down, and out. Down, bubble, and out. Straight down, go back up. You can trace back up and then loop over and out. Trace back up, over, and out. Let's see what that looks like if we put another letter with it. So trace back up and over and out, and we'll just keep going and put another letter beside it. For lowercase letter p, we're going to start on the green carpet line. We're going to kind of slant up straight down into the basement. We're going to trace back up, blow that bubble, connect, and out. And out. So kind of slant up, down, back up, bubble, and out. Just watch me make a couple of those. To the middle line, basement line, bubble, connect, and out. You can see that the front of the P and the back of the P are both ready for letters to be connected to them. Down, bubble, out. Straight down, bubble, and out. Let's see what that looks like if we were going to add another letter. There's that P, and we're coming out with the tail, and we're just going to keep going with the next letter. To write uppercase cursive Q, we're going to start midway upstairs. We're going to curve up to touch the top line. We're going down to touch the green carpet. We're going to make a loop. And we're going to come down and touch that green carpet again and out. So that really looks like the number 2, doesn't it? You're just going to curve up, down, loop, and then out to make that tail. Just make sure that you come back down and touch the green carpet again. Loop, touch, and out. It really does look like a number 2, so this one shouldn't be too hard, but it definitely doesn't look like what you might think an uppercase cursive Q might look like. If we wanted to join this to another letter, it would look like this. Here's our Q, and then we'll just put it with a letter I. For lowercase cursive Q, we're just going to curve around, come back up and connect, straight down into the basement. We're going to make a forward loop, connect, and out. So it looks kind of like a G, but your loop is going to be on the other side. Connect, straight down, loop forward, and then make that tail that comes out. Down, loop forward, and out. Loop forward and out. When I say loop, I guess I really just mean you're just making a connection. You're just coming back together to that line that you were just working with, and then you're just coming out. So really you're not looping, you're just coming back to touch and out. Down, come back to connect, and then out. Let's put this with another letter and see what it looks like. So here's our Q, and we'll put it with a letter E. Uppercase letter R is going to start like this. You're going to make a line that goes straight down, trace back up, make a bubble, come back to the middle. Then you're just going to come down and curve around. It's really a lot like the print uppercase R. You're just not going to pick your pencil up. You're going to trace back up the line, make a bubble, connect in the middle, and then you're just going to make it more curvy than the lowercase print R is. Just want to curve it around and out so we'll have a tail to join another letter to. Bubble. There we go. Back up, bubble, connect, and out. Down, up, bubble, connect in the middle, and then out. Let's add that uppercase R with the lowercase a. Come on around, curve, there you go. That's R with cursive A. To make the lowercase cursive R, you're going to start right here on that green carpet line, go up, touch the middle line, kind of curve down and I guess bounce over really. Come back up to touch the dotted line in the middle, back down and out like that. So it's just like go up, touch, bounce over, touch, down and out. So touch, touch, down, curve out. So just go up, touch, over, touch, down, and make that tail so we can put another letter beside it. All right, so here we go. Let's put R beside a letter E, and you can see how those two letters easily connect. For uppercase cursive S, we're going to start at the green carpet line. We're going to come up and make a little loop, and then we're going to curve like this, and then out. Let's see that again. Loop, curve, back, and out. Just watch me do a few of those. Curve forward, backwards, touch the dotted line, and then out. Little loop, curve forward, and out. Just watch a few more, you'll get it. Curve forward, and out. It's almost like you're making a big belly in front. So go up and make a little loop, and then you got to come this way, curve forward, and then make that tail that comes out so that we can put that uppercase S with another letter, like this. For lowercase cursive S, we're going to start here downstairs on the bottom line. We're going to go up, curve forward, and then we're just going to make that little line come out. So just like this. Almost looks like a sailboat flag. So just curve up, that front curve, kind of like that belly that we talked about for uppercase S, forward, touch, and then out. Up, forward curve, go back to that first line, make a connection, and then out. All right, let's see that with another letter. Let's put letter S with letter E. Let's see that again. So curve forward, and then just keep on going. When you get to that curvy part there, the tail, you just keep on going and just keep making your next letter right beside it. Uppercase T is almost exactly like uppercase F, except you're just not going to need to make that line in the middle. So you're just going to make that little curl and that wave down and make that fish hook. Curl, wave, down, and hook. Curl, wave, down, and fish hook. Let's see a few more of those. Okay, let's put this with another letter. Curl, wave, down. And there's our fish hook, and it's ready to just keep going and adding another letter beside it. It's just ready to receive the next letter. For lowercase t, we're going to start here on that green carpet line, go up to the top, back down, and curve around. And then we'll add that line right there across the middle. So up, trace back down, out with the tail, and then cross in the middle. Go from the bottom, kind of curve up, straight down, curve out, cross, curve up, down, and then curve out. The reason that we're curving right here at the beginning is because, remember, this is probably going to be in the middle of a word, and another letter may be right here in front. So by curving, it just helps us to be ready to put a letter in the front, and by giving it this tail, we're ready to put a letter in the back. All right, let's take a look at what this would look like. Let's put it with the letter I. Now at the end, when we get through writing, we're going to go back and we're going to cross our T and dot our I. We don't pick up our pencil as long as we're continuing to write, and as long as we don't have to, we keep going until we get to the end, and then we go back and we dot those T's and cross those I's. Uppercase cursive U will be pretty easy. It looks a lot like the uppercase print U. Just start at the top, curve around and back up. But instead of stopping right there, just fall straight back down and curve around with the tail. So it looks the same up until this point. Don't pick up your pencil, just come straight down and give it a tail. Touch the top line again with a tail. So down, curve around, up, down, and out. Top line, top line, back down and out. So we might put an uppercase letter U, and how about we put an M beside it this time? Okay, so touch the bottom line, top line, and then just use that tail to connect to the next letter. Lowercase u is very similar to uppercase U. You're going to be downstairs on the handwriting house paper. You're just going to start at the dotted line. You're going to curve around back up to the dotted line, down, and add that tail. So not a whole lot different than the print lowercase u, just adding that little tail at the end. Okay, let's practice joining that one to another letter. We'll just do a lowercase m again. So lowercase u, there's the tail, just keep going. And now you're done. For uppercase cursive V, we're going to start with that backwards candy cane shape, but we're not going to go straight down. We're going to start curving, kind of like a letter U at this point. Touch and bounce out. So it kind of looks like a backwards candy cane, curve like a U, touch the top line, and then out. Curve up, bounce out. Candy cane, curve, touch and bounce. Candy cane, curve, and then back up and bounce. Now, as you might imagine, when you put another letter beside this V, you're not going to try to bring that line way down to the ground. You're just going to start with your next letter. They will not be connected. So lowercase v is almost like a roller coaster. You're going to start at the bottom and you're going to go up, and then you're going to go down and then back up, and then just going to kind of bounce out like that. So at first it's like a roller coaster that goes up and then down and back up. When you get to the top, you're just going to bounce out to make that little tail. So go over, under, connect, and out. Over, under, connect, and out. So make a kind of like a hill and a valley, go back up, and then we're just going to bounce so we can have a tail to join that lowercase v to another letter like this. There's that tail, and I'm just going to keep on going and adding it to another letter, like letter E. Over, under, bounce, and then just keep going. Uppercase W is pretty easy. You're just going to start at the top line, go down and curve around at the green carpet line, and do that 2 times. And when you get all the way back to the top, you're just going to bounce out. So 1, 2, and bounce. Curve, curve, and then out like that. Curve, curve, and out. Curve, curve, and out. As you might imagine, if you're wanting to add another letter beside this W, you just add the letter without even connecting them. Lowercase cursive W just looks like waves on the ocean. You're just going to make a curve, and then you're just coming back down to make that little tail that comes out. So it really does just look like waves on the ocean, doesn't it? You're just making a curve, and then going back down to make the tail. Looks like really two U's stuck together. So let's put lowercase w with a letter A. So just curve, and then continue on. To make an uppercase cursive X, we're just going to do like this and like this. It just really looks like a fancy print X. You're just making lots of curves this way and that way. So we're just going to go down and curve around this way and like that. To connect that to another letter, you can just make that fancy X, and then you just can continue here with whatever letter you're wanting to add. We're back on the roller coaster for lowercase letter X. We're just going to go over the hill and then under, and then we're just going to come back and make a line. So over, under, pick up your pencil this time, and you're going to just make that line that just comes backwards. So roller coaster, down and up. Then you're going to stop right there at the dotted line and then just make a line that goes back like that. Okay. Downstairs, of course. And then line back. All right, watch a couple more of those. Let's make that lowercase x join to a letter E. Now, did you notice that I just kept on going, and I'll come back and make that line that crosses back over the X. Remember, I don't want to pick up my pencil unless I have to. I'm going to keep on going. And then when I stop, I'll go back and double check and make sure that I've crossed that X. For uppercase cursive Y, we're going to start at the top. We're going to curve down and back up, just like a letter U, and straight back down into the basement. We're going to make a backwards loop and then come out. Okay, straight down, make that backwards loop and then out with the tail. So curve around, back up, down, loop, tail. Down, loop, and then out. Just watch me make a few more of those. straight down into the basement and then out like that. Up, down, and out. And you can see how easy it will be to join another letter to the Y. You'll just keep going like that. Lowercase y is very similar to uppercase Y. We're going to start downstairs. We're going to make that kind of a little U looking shape, and then down. We're going to loop back and then out. So it's very similar to uppercase Y. Just start downstairs, go into the basement, make that backwards loop and out. So it's like a U, down, backwards loop, and out. U, down, backwards loop, and out. Let's put lowercase y with I. Don't forget to cross the I, or excuse me, dot the I. Right, so we're going to make that U, down, and then we'll come up. It's very easy to connect lowercase y to another letter. To make uppercase cursive Z, we're going to do this. We're going to curve. We're going to go to that green carpet line. We're going to bounce and make a backwards loop and out. And if you stretch it a little bit, it does kind of look like a number 3, if that helps. So we're going to curve and then all the way down to the green carpet. It looks like a half of a heart. And then when we get right there, we're going to kind of bounce just a little bit. And then we're going to go down into the basement and make a loop that comes up and out. So make half of a heart, bounce, loop, up and out. Half of a heart, bounce, loop, up and out. This part almost looks like a number 2. Then we're going down into the basement, and then it kind of looks like a 3. Bounce, loop back, and come on out. All right, let's connect that with another letter. We'll put it with letter A. Okay, let's see that again. Bounce, loop, out with an A. Lowercase z is a little bit like uppercase z. Watch this. You're just going to come around like that, and then you're going to do that whole bounce thing and that loop and out. So it's just almost kind of like a shorter uppercase z. So you're just going to make kind of a hump there, bounce, and that backwards loop and out. Right, so make that hump, bounce, loop, and out. Just come over like almost like a rainbow shape. Bounce, then do that loop and out. Just watch me a couple more times. All right, let's join this with another letter. Why don't we try letter O? Up, I'm just going to go over just like that.